I have two little girls, and weirdly, every morning when they wake up, they want to wrestle. I watch them push and pull and struggle against each other until inevitably I have to break it up. Recently, in my head, I've been having a lot of these kind of wrestling matches, struggling with questions like, how can a good God allow the injustice that's happening today? How can he allow such suffering? Why are so many people dying? I'm not alone. Many people in the Bible wrestle with God over similar questions. None more so than Jacob. Look up his story, it is pretty epic. In the midst of one crazy situation and about to face another, his potentially very hostile brother, who he cheated out of the family inheritance, Jacob finds himself alone and exhausted, and then literally wrestling some stranger who comes at him in the middle of the night. As dawn arrives, Jacob begins to realise that this stranger he's wrestling with might be something to do with God, maybe even God himself. How mind-blowing is that? This stranger, God the maker of the universe, wrestling with Jacob, allowing himself to get down in the dirt and spend hours letting Jacob fight with him. Watching my girls, I can tell you, it is not pretty with them wrestling. It must have been a long and arduous ordeal. So why would God do that? Well, he knew Jacob needed that. He needed to be able to work through his frustration and fear. God put in time and suffered alongside Jacob because he loved him. Though Jacob fought with him, God held on to him. He stayed close, so close that he has kept his arms around Jacob. And he wasn't angry at him for struggling. In fact, at the end of the story, God blessed Jacob for fighting him. In Genesis 32 verse 28, God told him, "Your name is no longer Jacob. From now on it is Israel." God wrestler. You wrestle with God and you've come through. I want to reassure you that if you feel you are struggling with God, that's okay. God is not mad with you. God is with you. He is down in your pain and the mud and the grit, and he is going along through it with you. His arms are around you and he will not let go. You may walk away a changed person. Jacob had a new name and a permanent limp after his struggle, but you will grow in the process. Please, if any of you are struggling, talk about it. Share with your pods or Ben or others you trust, and be honest with God. We may not get all the answers we want during this life, but through wrestling with our faith, we will develop a stronger, more intimate relationship with God. After all, when we wrestle, we also embrace.